Bye-bye shutters. So today is a big day because these lovely little windows and shutters are going to be coming out of the building, and they've done us well. Like, the condition they're in is pretty appalling, but yeah, they've served us well so far. You look like Bluebird in Friends, where he's got to sell all the cookies.
Oh, right. Yeah, also, I don't know if you agree, but I'm feeling much better than we were last week. Back to 100%, fighting fit, ready to go. I think that might... I don't know if I can get the angle.
Is the glass gonna go?
Maybe.
It's already a bit broken. We want to try our best to actually get these windows out without breaking the glass and to keep them relatively intact, but I've got no idea when the windows actually last open because they're completely seized up.
Not going.
That was a bit anticlimactic. No, I think it's joined somehow. Yeah, I don't know if it's paint or a mechanical join at the bottom, but that's where it's stuck.
Oh, there we go. Take two.
Yeah.
Push.
I'm being gentle. So smooth.
Some stiff hinges.
Hello. I'll have one ice cream, please. Oh, that one's better. Can you see how it's actually in there?
Yeah. So they've made a fat hole in the wall, stuffed a bit of wood in, and then they've nailed through the frame into that bit of wood. Could you pass me a chisel? I'm just thinking if it's all rusted, maybe I can just blast through it.
Okay.
Ding.
Great success. So if that's all the fixings, what's actually holding it in now?
Well, I would imagine all the concrete. Just have to tap around it, try and free it up. Oh, I got a casualty. At least that one was already broken.
What's that for?
We're gonna have to break the sill. Doesn't want to go any other way, so I'm gonna use this to collect the mess.
Nice tidy work here, that's what I hired.
How has this managed to stay? Boink. Timber!
stop.
Grab it from the frame and take it in. That's it.
This is gonna. I can't. Can you help me? It's so heavy. Sorry. There you go.
Out in one piece, undamaged.
So are you.
Hopefully, the other two can come out in the same way. Bonza.
He mocked it to begin with, but here is the flat again.
It is a hot one today.
You look great, darling.
Coverage?
Full.
Good. Oh, that's not even on the hinge. So that's both of the front windows now out. That second one was actually not too bad. After doing the first one and now knowing where the fixings are and yeah, how to get it out, the technique, much easier doing that one. So while the windows are out and you can really see the size of this opening as it is at the moment, just want to address, a few people asked us, why are we not going to put in windows going from the top down to the floor on both of the windows there? So there's two reasons why. The first is because this is only a small space. Inside is 20 square meters. It's really small. So as you can imagine, we need as much of the wall space as possible to be able to configure the layout and move furniture around. And if we were to do those windows all the way down to the floor, as well as having the door in the middle of them, that's basically that entire wall written off. So we wouldn't be able to configure anything in that space, which would make it a lot more limited. The second reason is that we like the look of it the way it is. If we had windows going all the way down to the floor, it would really change the aesthetic of the building because the door's going to be glass as well. So we would just have 3 panes of glass on the front. It would also mean where we have the big stones around the window, you would then get halfway down and it would just be smaller stones, and I don't think it would look as nice. So I hope that answers your question. We are still going to have plenty of light in there. Like I say, it's a small space and we're going to have a full glass door. There's the 2 windows on the front plus a window in the side. So I think we are good on the light front. But yeah, now I need to move around to the side and try and get this window out on the gable end. So all 3 windows are out and relatively unscathed. The only damage we actually had to do was on the locking pins because a couple of them were stuck. So we just kind of cut them off so we could free the window up, but that is easily replaceable and we'll now be able to use those windows in a future project, which is a bonus. But before we head back down to the tiny house to continue working on the window openings, I just wanted to take a minute to speak to you about Milanote, the sponsor of today's video. So Milanote is a fantastic tool for organizing your creative projects. You've probably heard us talk about it before because we've been using it to plan the renovation on the tiny house and it's been an absolute game changer for us. Neither of us are particularly good at using spreadsheets to plan things. We're both very much visual thinkers. So Milanote's the perfect tool for us. It's really flexible and it allows you to organize your ideas in a way that makes sense to you. So we have a main board for the renovation. We've then created subboards off of it to break down the project into smaller, more manageable parts. Not only does this give us more focus, focus, but it also stops us feeling overwhelmed. You can collect all of your images, links, videos, notes, and more all in one place. No more bookmarks and spreadsheets scattered across all of your different devices. One of my favorite features is the Milanote mobile app. Quite often I'll be out and about and I'll have an idea, or I'll be in a shop and I'll see something that would be good for the project. I can just open the app, make a quick note, snap a photo, and it makes sure that I don't forget. It's also incredibly easy to share your work with somebody. You simply send them a link inviting them to comment and give you feedback in real time, or if you want to collaborate, you can give that person full access to edit the project too. Milanote's available for free with no time limit, so sign up using our link in the description below and start planning your next creative project right away.
Oh, and if you do use Milanote for one of your creative projects, please do let us know in the comments what you've used it for.
So now that we've got the windows out, we need to deal with the aftermath that's been left behind, and that involves getting off a load of concrete because the frame itself was actually surrounded by concrete. We also need to rake out all of the concrete that's between all of the stonework around the window, because we're soon going to be laying down the new windowsill, and once all that's put in and poured, we really don't want to be disturbing around it with an SDS, so we're going to get that out now. And lastly, where the shutters have been put on the outside edge of the wall, the brackets have actually been concreted to the face of the stones. We're not really sure whether the stonework has been chipped out to have the bracket inset and then concrete over, or whether it's just been pushed on the face and concrete over, but we'll soon find out. You liking your windowless home?
Yeah, very breezy. I can't believe how light it is now that the dirty old windows have been removed.
Also, the walls and everything are just so dirty and like dark at the moment as well. Think once the walls are finished, they're light, the ceiling is light.
Yeah.
It's going to be so bright in here.
The brighter the better.
Agreed. That's a bit sucky. We've got some damage on this window in 3 of them. They've just put the kind of hinges in with like a spike going into the wall. They've done it so close to the edge, it's made this area so weak. The bottom one was fine, and the side that Victoria was doing, they all came out relatively unscathed, so that's good. I think in a few weeks' time we'll have to do some damage control and kind of make up a mix of some of this broken stone with some mortar and just kind of patch over it and try and blend it in as best we can. Got that last part chasing out in between the stones, and also between the 2 lintels there's a big gap there that was filled with concrete. Just made so much dust, an absolute mess. So I'm absolutely caked now, but it's done, which is good. Time to get some mortar mixed, and then can start rebuilding and trying to finish off these windows to get them nice and level, ready for our new sills.
So I've got several plants that I want to get in the ground today, but my first job is going to be hilling up my potatoes, which, as you can see, are coming up very, very nicely. Some are a little smaller than others, but I think they're all ready to be hilled up. But I was actually in 2 minds if it was strictly necessary to do this process. The potatoes I've got are Desiree potatoes, and they're a determinate variety, so they're not just going to keep getting taller and taller and taller and floppier floppier and floppier. So the mounding, I know, helps support those really tall potato plants, but there are also other benefits to hilling the potatoes. So they are protecting it from sunlight. I think it also helps with water retention, and it can also increase the harvest. So there don't seem to be any potential negatives, only positives. So it's got to be worth a try. Thank you very much for anyone who left a comment or left me a little bit of advice with the gardening stuff. I really do appreciate it, including the encouragement to mound up the potatoes, because as I say, I myself was in two minds if it was actually worthwhile doing, but your advice or your tips actually swayed my decision. So I do appreciate you taking the time. I just hope it works. No pressure. When it comes to companion plants, it seems that marigolds are a bit of a powerhouse and seem to be a good companion for most plants. And of course, I want to plant them because they look like a jolly little pom-pom. So they look very attractive, and they're also really good for pollinators as well and attracting bees. So stay tuned for lots more marigolds getting planted. Picked you out some stones, nice flat tops for where you get to the top of the wall and it needs to get level.
Oh, lovely. Thank you.
It was a pretty stringent selection process. They all had to have nice flat tops, nice faces, and a little bit skinny.
Good job, soldier. God, it is hot today. I'm an absolute sweaty Betty. Can I say sweaty Betty being a bloke? There's not really a male equivalent, is there?
Sweaty Bert.
What? Doesn't rhyme. I was going to say sweating Kevin. That doesn't rhyme either, does it?
Are you dehydrated?
Perspiring Myron.
Myron? That's not even a name.
That is a name.
Who do you know? Have you ever met a Myron?
No, there's lots of names I haven't met. I've never met a Zelda, but there's people out there called Zelda.
Myron, Simon, Theodore. What's the Chipmunks?
That's right.
Myron, Simon.
No, you want to say Alvin, Myron, Theodore.
It's all in the delivery, guys.
I've just kind of marked out where I want the stonework to go to underneath the windowsill. The old-fashioned way, just with the spirit level and kind of going across the 4 different points. Completely forgot that we've got a laser level, so just going to go and sense check it with this. It's a few mil off, but doesn't really matter too much. We only need this as a rough guide, just so I can kind of follow a line with the stonework. When we pour the sill, that's when we'll get the true level ready for the window to go in. There we go, guys. So just finished. It's 9:30. I'm hot, I'm sweaty, I'm tired. I'm getting absolutely annihilated by bugs because of this lantern. So yeah, time to go and get some food and pray that this looks okay in the morning because it's kind of hard to see with the light. Shadows are deceptive. But yeah, see you in the morning. We got a new flinger for Poppy. It's going to save my shoulder, which is good.
It did come a bit smaller though than I thought. In the picture it looked a lot bigger. It's like pocket size.
I'm just brushing down yesterday's work because when I finished last night it was pretty difficult to see in that light, but pretty happy with the way it's turned out. So the plan for today is to get the other window to the same point as this one, ready for pouring the sill. There's still a bit more stonework that needs building up, more than there was on here anyway, so it's going to take me a bit longer. However, I've got a bit more time today than I did last night, which is good, so I'm going to need it. One thing that's a tad concerning is that I've just made up a mix of mortar and we're pretty much out of sand, so we've got no more sand left to make any more mixes. So hopefully that mortar is gonna last.
The jeopardy.
The jeopardy. Stay tuned to find out if the sand lasts.
Plums. We planted this tree about 1.5 years ago, and to be honest, when it went in the ground it looked like we planted a twig. But yeah, we've got plums, quite a few by the looks of it. 1, 2, there was one in there, 14. On first inspection we've got 14 plums. Can't wait for them to be ready.
The inside is finished and looking good. Oh, I've got sun cream in my eyes, sorry. Yeah, so now I'm on the outside. I've kind of got ones either side. Need to fill an awkward space in the middle, so that's going to take a little while. Once that's done, just a case of filling between the outer skin and the inner skin with just random bits of mortar, so that'll be no problem at all. I'm sure all of you guys at home have got no more fingernails left, anxiously waiting to find out if the mortar's made it. What do you think?
I don't know the answers.
That's why I'm asking you. Get your bets in.
I mean, my nails are absolutely fine. I think there'd have been a bit of a storm cloud over your head, Ricky, if there wasn't enough mortar left. So I'm going to say that yes, there'll be enough.
Correctamundo. there we have it. The stonework under the windows is complete. Got to say, I'm so happy with how it's turned out. It looks so much better than that nasty concrete. And when you now step back from the building and you kind of take it all in, it just looks like it was meant to be there, and it just makes the whole building look so much more solid rather than those big grey chunks underneath the windows. I have to admit, going into this project, both Victoria and I were incredibly nervous because, firstly, neither of us have ever put a hole in a building before, so that was pretty nerve-wracking. And secondly, to have to build this stonework up in such a prominent position, we were both a bit worried that it wasn't going to look great, but it's turned out better than probably either of us could have expected. Don't get me wrong, it's been a lot of effort to do this and it's not been easy, but now sitting here with it all finished, it's really proved to us that it was worth all the effort.